Hi, we're here to talk about scorecards training. Philip Duff, Lighthouse Consulting. First of all, let's talk about staff development. Staff development is the most important part of building a successful business. As the staff learns more, the overall knowledge level of the business becomes higher. And it makes every project you try to do easier to complete. It creates a sense of direction for everyone that's involved in the business. So the scorecard is a very important part of staff development. It's a tool to help identify opportunities for development. It's not a club or a stick or something to beat the employee over the head with. It's meant to be a positive development tool. So let's start off by looking at the scorecard and talking about each particular section and what it's set up to mean. We'll start off with the overall scoring. There will be a score, and each score has a rated and a fixed expectation. Some things we're looking to get more of. Well, we want to enforce a higher. We want to enforce collections higher than we're worried about something like audit scores. But we want it all to be very important. And so what we're really looking for is talking about this all by the numbers. And that's how we want to manage the employee as well. It's by the numbers. We want to have them to understand that there is a score, there is a number involved in what they're doing. So the number one thing we're looking for is consistency in collections, a 90-day collection average, and we're going to reward that with a point system. The people that have the higher consistent collections are the ones that we're going to consider to be the better collectors and the ones that we're looking to incent. So we want to incent production. Collections per person is what drives profits, because there's an average cost for any collector to sit in a seat in this office of $8,000, or actually a little bit more in net, or $21,000 in gross collections. That's as of currently. So we've got to be able to match that to make any profit. Please keep that cost per seat in mind. But we're also talking about things like attendance. We need people here. It's very important that they be here. So we're going to reward them for good attendance, and we're going to give them a lower score if they're not here and available to work. It's very important that this work out. We need to manage that cost per seat, and that cost per seat will go up if there's no one sitting in the seat. The next thing we're going to talk about is the accounts worked per hour in a manual collection situation. So we want these people to actually be out there working hard, trying to get as many debtors on the phone as possible, but not so quickly as quality is sacrificed. We do need them to find a proper number of accounts that can be worked per hour so that we can have the expectation of that cost per seat and the number of accounts that can be churned through the office. So the next part of this is going to be your compliance audit score. There's a separate audit that happens and gives you a score for compliance. We're going to use that score as part of the way of deciding what the compliance score for this individual is going to be. There's a cost of non-compliance, and it's increased, and it will increase the cost per seat if we're getting a lot of complaints. The cost of non-compliance is also a loss of profits. So a loss of profits affects every employee, because as there's less profits, there's less growth, there's less money for bonuses, etc., etc. Next, it's very important to get the buy-in from the collector. So how we're going to do that is get them to sign this, to understand that they have seen it and read it. The buy-in from that person is very, very important, because we want them to want to get better. In addition to us wanting to train and develop that employee, we want them to want to get better on their own. We want them to find this as a career and work to create a better career. The buy-in continues as we ask them what they're willing to do to get better, what they think they can do in the next 30 days to become a better employee and increase their scoring. By getting a staff member to write down their plan of development, they have bought into at least that level of change. This requires a look in the mirror, or self-evaluation, something people don't do very often. But if you can get that employee to look at themselves in the mirror and decide to be better, they'll create larger goals for themselves often than you even would for them. So now it's your opportunity to add in what you believe would be the development plan for this employee. Over the next 30 days, we're going to do this to help with your attendance. Over the next 30 days, we're going to help you to achieve these goals, to increase your score by 10% in this area, 5% in this area. And we're going to do it by spending time with you, by providing a new training class for you, by whatever is needed to make this happen. But it's going to be a clear and precise goal that you're going to put together and work with that employee on. So the whole point is to make this a positive tool to help develop that employee. The scorecards have got to be used to identify opportunities for improvement. Getting buy-in from the employee and improve includes a clear plan to achieve the goals within the time stated period. Thank you very much. This is a wonderful tool. Make sure you use it properly. Thanks for your attention span.